Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental health, emotional health paradigm. Nope, we bring about pro wrestling related topics, and we discuss pro wrestling from here and far and every point in between. This is the SmackDown report for the 1st of July, 2022. Certainly not a lot going into Money in the Bank, although Money in the Bank not nearly the show it used to be. And the fact that they moved it to Saturdays just basically means they even realize that it's kind of falling flat. But in any event, this is the Money in the Bank Go Home show, and well, this kind of show makes me want to stay home. In any event, we kind of go through Money in the Bank segment opening the show. SmackDown starts with McIntyre, Riddle, Rollins, Sheamus, and Sami Zayn in the ring. And on ladders, MVP and Omos are standing in the ring. Michael Cole and Pat McCaffrey standing at ringside briefly acknowledge the participants in the ladder match. Rollins starts speaking. McIntyre and Riddle don't want Rollins to speak, so they cut him off. Rollins notes that they all agree that the winner should cash in against the winner, Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. How do we come to that assumption? Rollins mentions cashing in on them before. Riddle hopes Reigns wins so he could cash in on him. Zayn interrupts. He claims that he'd win the ladder match and sit out the contract for a year. MVP mocked the rest, forgetting about Omos. He promises Omos would win and cash in on Lesnar or Reigns. Hopefully not. Sheamus said he has won the ladder match before and cashed in on Reigns. McIntyre mentioned that he beat Lesnar for the title before. Suddenly, the Miz's music hit and he walks down to the ring. He comes in and says that he could cash in if he wanted to, and he's the only two-time winner. He deserves to be in the match tomorrow night. Ezekiel interrupts next. He points out that he's supposed to have a qualifying match with Kevin Owens and thinks he should be in the match too. Hopefully not. Next comes Happy Corbin, wanting in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Cap Moss comes out and interrupts him. Adam Pearce comes out and says that he could feel the aggression in the ring. He ordered the crew to clear on the ladders, and they announced a battle royal because, well, we have to copy what AEW does. Anyway, participants: Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Seth Rollins, Riddle, Sami Zayn, Omos, Ezekiel, Happy Corbin, Miz, and Madcap Moss. Fine enough battle royal, just there to kill time. On commentary, Cole mentioned that Owens is supposed to be in a qualifying match, but he was injured. Cole and McCaffrey keep talking about the good old-fashioned battle royal. This is neither good nor old-fashioned. Everyone fights out for the first few minutes, and then almost dumps Ezekiel for the first elimination, follows up by throwing out Moss and The Miz. Riddle then attacks Omos, but then he gets beat down. McIntyre and Omos face off in the middle of the ring. They trade shots. Omos takes out McIntyre. McIntyre fights back. Omos then nails McIntyre with a headbutt. Omos continues dominating, facing off against everyone. Rollins and Omos goes face to face. Rollins then waves goodbye to Omos and eliminates himself. Rollins then laughed at Omos at ringside. Riddle then goes under the bottom rope and takes out Rollins with an RKO to a big pop, probably the most exciting thing in the match thus far. Riddle then catches Omos with a triangle in the ropes. McIntyre and Sheamus help dump Omos over the ropes to a huge pop again. Then we go to back from the break. Sheamus, Riddle, Zayn, Corbin, and McIntyre are left. Fans break into a Riddle chant. He's over, but the WWE will botch it, no doubt. Corbin then looks on at McCaffrey, giving Riddle a choke slam backbreaker. Riddle then takes over, then hits a bro to sleep for his trouble. Riddle then goes after the RKO, but Sheamus then throws him over the ropes. Riddle then ends up on the apron, but fights back. He climbs the second rope, but Sheamus hits a bro kick and eliminates Riddle. Corbin and Zayn worked together on McIntyre. McIntyre moved, and Riddle hit the haluva kick on Corbin. Corbin slipped out under the bottom rope. McIntyre goes for the Claymore kick on Zayn, but Sheamus hits a brogue kick instead. McIntyre recovers and runs wild on Sheamus. He then throws Zayn across the ring and hits the Future Shock DDT on Sheamus. McIntyre then hits a Claymore on Zayn and tosses him over the top. Corbin looks on over at McCaffrey as he celebrates back from the break. Caleb Braxton interviews Corbin for winning the Battle Royal. He celebrates his win, and he's happy. He claimed that he could fart rainbows. Hopefully not. They showed Ronda Rousey and Natalia video package. This is really not a good idea. Anyway, in the back, Megan interviews Natalia. She makes fun of Rousey's acting career and said she knew why Hollywood's not knocking on her door anymore. She also knows the sharpshooter hurt Rousey. Natalia doesn't care about Rousey's comment. She promised to force Rousey to tap out the sharpshooter tomorrow night. They recapped the Viking Raiders attacking the New Day. New Day versus the new vicious Viking Raiders. Viking Raiders are now heels. Match didn't end up happening. Instead, the Viking Raiders beat down the New Day. And they are referred to as the new vicious Viking Raiders. Anyway, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods discussed the Viking Raiders interrupting their dance with Shanky the previous week. The Viking Raiders music hit and make their way to the ring. The ring announcer introduced them as the new vicious Viking Raiders. New Day and the Raiders face to us off. Woods pretends to hand over the microphone, but then drops him with a shot instead. And then we go into a brawl. New Day, Viking Raiders take over and beat down the New Day with their shields. In the back, The Miz, Happy Corbin, Madcap Moss, Ezekiel argue about the Money in the Bank ladder match. Each person gives a reason they should still be involved. Then we go to Asuka, Liv Morgan, and Alexa Bliss defeating Raquel Rodriguez, Lacey Evans, and Shotzi. 13-14 match is fine. Didn't need to be this long, but they're filling time and just killing time on television these days. Cole pushes that Raw vs. SmackDown match. Before the match, Becky Lynch comes out and gets a massive reaction as one would expect. She notes that she's sitting this match out. The SmackDown team has an early advantage. They isolate Asuka in the corner and beat her down pretty aggressively. Rodriguez goes for the powerbomb, but Asuka escapes and tags out. Rodriguez then backs Bliss into the corner and hits a splash, follows up with a big clothesline for her trouble. Morgan and Bliss work together and go after Rodriguez. Morgan catches Rodriguez with a Rana. Rodriguez then comes back and nails Morgan, and Shotzi tags out, and then Morgan goes to the side of the ring. Morgan fights out, and Shotzi rolls out to the floor. Shotzi and Evans argue at ringside, and absolutely nobody cares. And then there's a suicide dive. Back from the break, Rodriguez picks up Bliss, but Shotzi tags herself in. She then trips Rodriguez and Rodriguez lands on top of Bliss. Shotzi takes over, cuts Bliss off from her corner for a couple of minutes. Bliss then follows up. Attempted sunset flip. Shotzi rolls through into a Boston Crab. Asuka then gets a hot tag and goes nuts. She then knocks Evans off the apron and goes for the ankle lock German suplex, followed by a 2 count. Morgan hits the recoil on Shotzi for a near fall. Finish of the match comes when Evans nails Bliss with the woman's right. Asuka takes out Evans with a back fist. Shotzi then knocked down Asuka and posed on the ropes. Morgan takes the advantage out and hits the Oblivion for the win. After the match, Morgan, Bliss, and Asuka celebrate. Lynch jumps back in, and off we go into the manhandle slam situation, and then everybody takes off. In the back, Sonya Deville approaches Adam Pearce. She finally has a complaint about management because Pearce put her in a handicap match last week. Ask Them Anything, Usos and Street Profits is an interesting segment. Fans get in on the segment, although I'm sure they're plants. Caleb Braxton hosts and asks a series of questions, supposedly from the fans. Braxton asks the Usos how fearful they are of losing the titles in Roman Reigns' reaction. Usos make fun of the question. Braxton then asks the Street Profits about losing at WrestleMania. She added that there were rumors that Ford and Dawkins are having problems. They assumed they'd heard the rumors from the dirt sheets. Ford then praises the Uso family legacy, and he's going to end that legacy once and for all. The Usos get in the Street Profits' faces, and off they go with a battle continuing the promo. Then in the back, Max Dupree is excited to reveal his new clients. He gets close to Adam Pearce's face. Pearce notes the segment is next, and Dupree is happy. He announces his new clients. It dragged at times. Mace and Mansoor are fashion model gimmicks that they've been bragging about. Macy and Mansoor. Max Dupree is standing in the ring under the spotlight. Fans immediately start chanting "What" at him when he cuts his promo. Dupree introduces the former Mansoor as Mansour, and Dupree claims that he has a new love for fashion. Dupree then says Mansour's best traits are that he posed for photographers. Mace and Mansour come together and they posed again. What a horrible idea. In the back, Megan interviews Ronda Rousey. Ronda mocks Natalia and promises to beat her up tomorrow night. Cole and McCaffrey run down Money in the Bank card. Money in the Bank Fatal 4-Way qualifying match. Madcap Moss defeats Miz, Corbin, and Ezekiel 10:33. I don't really think this needed to be there either. They show clips of Logan Paul getting involved with things. All four men trade shots at the bell. Ezekiel gives Moss a sunset flip. Moss gives Miz a German suplex, and off we are to the races. Ezekiel and Moss go back and forth until the heels team up and work together. Back from the break, Moss is finally in control and nails a near fall. Ezekiel then breaks up a pin after a double suplex. Moss hits the punchline at a point. Ezekiel then goes for the crossbody on Moss. Moss then comes through with a fall-away slam. Miz then hits a running knee on Moss for near fall. Corbin then hits deep six on Miz for a close near fall of his own. Miz hits the skull-crushing finale on Ezekiel, but Corbin pulls around to the ring. Corbin then hits the end of days on Ezekiel, and the match is won. Moss jumps back into the ring and gets the pin himself. Moss celebrates in the ring, ending SmackDown. Corbin is at ringside. And next week, Maximum Male Models revealed the tennis collection. And my gosh, why is this on national television? Nobody knows. We'll be back with more right after this.